Hello Gunners, welcome to another video and another update on the latest Arsenal news across the day. We'll be discussing Piero Hincapie, we'll be discussing Kiwior, we'll be discussing Ebrahimi stuff as well, Malik Fofana, Rodrigo, the latest on those guys too. It's going to be a really enjoyable video, but before I begin, if you are new, please hit the subscribe and the like as well. And I actually have posted on my analytical channel a breakdown on Piero Hincapie and why he's going to be really good for Arsenal. So again, pinned comment on this video. If you go to that channel, it will be there. Like and subscribe as well. It'd be greatly appreciated. But I think we've got to start with Piero Hincapie, and the latest news actually around him is that he's agreed terms with Arsenal 100%. I think that was the difference between today and yesterday. Personal terms completely done. He does not want anyone else really instead of Arsenal. You know, obviously he's not said don't talk to any other clubs yet, but his priority is Arsenal. He's doing everything to make it happen, doing everything in his power. And I think that I briefly touched on it yesterday about this window. Every single player is doing everything in their power to try and join Arsenal Football Club. Mosquera did it. Gyökeres did it. Eze did it. Norgard did it as well. He was really eager to. Kepa was happy to come in as second choice if it meant that he got to play for Arsenal. You're looking at all of these players. Noni Madueke said yes to Arsenal. He wanted that move. You're looking at every single one of these players who are pushing for a move to Arsenal. How good is that? I mean, gone are the days. I remember all those times where, you know, a name a lot of you Arsenal fans will remember, Dusan Vlahovic. He had the audacity to reject us. Now he's getting offered around to clubs like Newcastle, like United, and he turned us down. I'm looking at players like Locatelli. Look at him at Juventus. He's not really getting them to levels that they expect to be. So all these guys that rejected us in the past, they'd be jumping and biting at the bit to come and play for us. And that's what I absolutely love about Mikel Arteta's Arsenal and Andrea Berta and the strategy. Players want to come for the sporting reasons and not the monetary reasons. That's the biggest difference now. Maybe in the past, when you're looking at the players we recruited, maybe they think, okay, Arsenal move, a little bit more money, a big sort of increase on what I have now. But now players, great, you get the money, but you get to play for Arsenal, one of the biggest clubs in the world, a club on the brink of success, and every single player is jumping at the bit for it. And I'm not sure if you guys watched it, but I was certainly straight away off onto that one. But it was the Ebrahimi behind the scenes video. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. I really encourage you to go and watch it if you haven't already. He's just smiling the whole way through. It's almost like me and you signing for Arsenal. I don't even blame him. If that was me signing for Arsenal, I think I would have been rolling on the ground, giggling to myself like, oh, I've scammed my way to Arsenal. You know, for me, because I'm not as good as a footballer as Eze, for me it would be a scam. But you can just see, you know, he's a phenomenal footballer, but he's so excited to play for Arsenal. This is his dream, and I just absolutely love watching that behind the scenes. But you know what else I absolutely love, I even choked on my words there, is Dragon Jersey and their kits. If you want to get yourself some Arsenal kits, I genuinely do recommend it, and I'm always seeing you guys getting kits from there, so it's always great as well. You can use code Fanatics for 10% off any kit of your choice from the past, present, and the ones which come in the future as well. If you want, you know, different types of jerseys, they're there. But yeah, I mean, the happiness on Eze's face was incredible through that behind the scenes video. It genuinely was. But yeah, let's move swiftly on to the news regarding Rodrigo and Malik Fofana. And it's not much of a great update. And to be honest, I'm not too concerned with it either. You know, there can be this point where greed starts to get in, where you kind of want players who you don't even need. You know, with Hincapie, it makes sense, especially with Kiwior going out the door. And I forgot to mention with Kiwior, he actually had a flight booked to go to Porto yesterday. If you're watching this video, that would have been. And they cancelled the flight. They had to cancel the flight because Arsenal were hoping to get a major breakthrough in talks with Hincapie, and they weren't able to get it. They keep pointing to the 60 million euros release clause. Arsenal want to do a deal for under that. There was the loan with the obligation. There was different payment structures. But I think the problem with that Hincapie deal is that Tottenham Hotspur came with a bigger offer on the table, and other clubs have come with a larger fee up front. And that's what's annoying Leverkusen. They obviously want to make as much profit as they can. But Arsenal under Andrea Berta, they've been really, really creative with how they do deals. And that is a big plus with the Berta front in terms of how he tries to get deals done in a way which suits both us but also the selling club. So I wouldn't say the deal is dead in the water because Hincapie wants us so badly. And Leverkusen, I guess, are in a position where they kind of going to have to sell him because he wants to leave either way. So I think this gets done. I think we get our terms as well. Berta will get some really nice terms too. But But yeah, let me move on to the Malek Fofana stuff. And yeah, the update was that they are not leaving. You know, it was quite a big one across this week. Malek Fofana is a player I'm not really big on. I think he's more of a Sancho type of player in terms of that's where he is. You know, he's not got the pace and power, PNP, which I talk about quite a lot, in terms of if he takes someone on, he's not gonna get past majorly. He's not gonna really burst away. And in the Premier League, looking at how physical and quick it is now, those sort of players are really struggling, genuinely really struggling. You know, you're looking at those smaller, more nimble players which made it in the Premier League before. Your Bernardo Silva, he's strong. I can't say Fofana has the same sort of strength on the ball as a Bernardo Silva. His close control isn't as good as Bernardo Silva. Technically, he's all right. I'm not saying he's awful. He's more brain sort of orientated. He's a clever player, but clever players have come to the Premier League and struggled. And I think, you know, to spend 30 odd million on him when you've got a Martinelli and Trossard, I think we can keep them for another year, because I think we're in a position now where we're looking into next summer to get the best of the best. We've done our sort of floor raising signings. The level of the squad across the board is such a high level that we're going into next summer, hopefully after winning 2 major trophies, into sort of signing, you know, the world beaters out there, your Barcolas, your, dare I say it, your Vinny Juniors if he doesn't get that contract, your big boys. You know, that's what Arsenal will be looking into next summer, you know, and that's a privileged position that Bertrand has put us into. We're no longer going to be getting those cheaper signings, maybe the sort of guys where a Norgard out and a Buadi or a Gume in, maybe a Marino out. Miles Lewis-Skelly can cover that position as well. It will be sort of those small ones where the guys are aging and you just want to get a younger profile in, I think. But yeah, it is good on that front. And of course, Rodrigo as well, he's decided he's staying, so he's Mickey Moused around all summer. We saw him throw a fit after getting substituted. It's his own fault. He doesn't push for the move. You know, if that's what he wants to do, sit on the bench in Madrid, that's his own problem. To be honest, we don't really need him that hard. Like I've said, we've got players like Trossard, we've got players like Martinelli, who are more than adequate and good enough to play in that left wing position for the rest of the season, with Eze as well, with Madueke. Look, we have options. We can't get too greedy, you know, that's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I want to end this video talking about, you know, Anfield. And on my Twitter, if you do follow TM Talks Ball, I'm always talking about how Arsenal are probably the most well-equipped for Anfield in a long time. And I know that sounds crazy to say, considering we've got Erdegaard and Bukayo Saka potentially out and Kai Havertz as well. But it's the first time we've got players that can adjust to the ping-pong version of Anfield. So if the game gets really stretched and really transitional, we've got players who can adapt to that. Eze, look at him. He's ball carrier. He can break the press of Liverpool by pure carrying through the middle. Look at Madueke. He can travel with the ball, transition power. Gyökeres is a really good runner who can play balls into the channel to him. So we genuinely have, and that's me not even mentioning your likes of Declan Rice and Zubimendi and our brilliant back four as well. Whoever starts, it's always brilliant. We are genuinely really well equipped for Anfield, and I just can't wait. And I feel like this is probably the chance where we got to go to Anfield with the mentality to win. Show no fear, go to win the game. But anyway, that's it for now, gunners. Hope you have enjoyed, and on to next time. Peace.